Yeah, I'm here in Dresden in Edgefest with Remain. So, for starters, could you tell me a bit about your band? Who and what is Remain?
Remain is Matthias on vocals, me on guitar, and Paul on bass, and Micha do the drums. We are a so-called straight edge band. And we started in 2021, maybe in late 2021.
October, November.
The idea started, and we get together in the time and practice a little bit, and we came together to do some musical stuff.
We've been playing in a band before, so I was living in Australia for the last 8 years. So when I returned, like Sebastian asked me, let's do a band together, and one thing led to another, and yeah.
Okay, as you said, you're a straight edge band, but your songs, what are they about?
This is a question for
Yeah, about many things actually. So of course we have the typical straight edge song, because when I came back to Dresden, and Dresden has changed a lot, like all these old like DIY places that you had before, they're all replaced by like shisha bars and all these places, and we feel like this is completely different culture. Like it's like a lot of materialism, machoism, and it's like something that I feel terrible about. Seeing the youth culture nowadays, it's just about drugs and everything. So I found like I need to write a song that is like the counterculture, remind people like we're still here, straight edge, and it's something that saved like a lot of people's lives actually. They could have ended up in drugs, and I see like we're both like social workers, and we see with the people we work with, like if they don't find an end now, they will end up like really badly maybe. So our songs are a lot about like the social issues that's happening locally here in Dresden. And of course there's one issue that I always found, like especially during the pandemic, was this typical black and white. You get vaccinated, you don't get vaccinated, who's better, who's not, and I was just like, fuck you all. Like think for yourself, do what you want. And it's like this typical black and white thinking. We feel like, no, let's get together, let's talk. And people don't talk about things anymore. Everything is social media, and no, people don't talk with each other anymore. So we have a song called Light and Shade, what is about like, let's come together, let's talk together about things. Like let's solve issues face to face and not on social media. So yeah, these are kind of the topics we discuss.
It's easy way of discussion to do it on the internet and to do some kind of shitstorm when you are against it or are not. And so
yeah, there's nothing in between anymore.
This is not a punk culture we know years before, because there was always the talk between the guys. Came to shows and we talk about a lot of topics, the animal rights, the racism thing, all the social issues, all the things we talk about. And there's no place anymore in the scene for that. There's always judgment. You are against or you're not against.
Yeah, you mentioned you started in 2021. So how was it starting a band kind of in the middle of pandemic?
I think in Germany where we live, like Germany is a small country and you have like 16 different parts in Germany, and every part has different rules about lockdowns and everything. And where we lived, there was like nothing going on anymore, really. Like we could do whatever you wanted to. So when we got together, it's like, yeah, there's no rules. We can just practice normally, like every band where we used to do. So when we got together, there was like, but we always looked after each other. Like if you feel sick, do a test or do something like, so we keep the other one safe. But we just basically didn't need to look after the lockdown things.
It was also a kind of a way out for there was no shows and we wanted to do our things because we do this punk rock hardcore thing for years now.
For a long time. We felt like we needed to do something, can't just sit around.
We needed it to do something, yes.
Yeah, your 5-song demo came out last year, so what can you tell me about this album? How did it come to be?
The songs was really fast when we put it together.
I think we practiced once a month. We only met once a month, and every band practice there was like one song finished. It was like, and then like 2 or 3 months later, it's like, okay, our old bass player. We were practicing at his bass, and he has like a little studio, like a DIY setup, and he said, let's record the demo. And so this is how, and he recorded the demo, and we just got together. It's like really quick, let's do 5 songs, let's do something, and that's it. Yeah, just like no-brainer, basically.
Standard hardcore issues.
Yeah.
How much do you have of material? Is there like another record in the plans?
Yes, we went to the studio last week, and we're finishing off on Wednesday, the vocals and everything, and then probably by, what is it now, March, April, we will have everything online.
Oh, maybe.
We're still discussing about how to release it.
How we do it, maybe
Are we
two songs as a promo, maybe,
Yeah.
and maybe something later.
So
but this is the future plans. But
yeah, it's like 7 or 8 songs will be on it.
7
songs, yeah.
Altogether 7 songs.
Yeah, what kind of music are we gonna hear?
Pretty much the same. That's all we can play, I think. A bit different, a bit more aggressive, I would say. Even the lyrics are more political. So yeah, I think there's not a single. It's a straight edge song. There's one song actually I'm recording on Wednesday. I still have no lyric for it, so I'm still thinking, what can I sing about? Might be a straight edge song. Might be another like very political song. Yeah.
Yeah, and also a emotional song. Not with the lyrics, more the music structures.
The music changed a bit. It's more like becoming more of a not. It's aggressive in one way, but also a bit more groove in it. Like people can jump.
Sometimes it's more the typical turning point stuff, and some stuff is more the typical New York hardcore stuff.
Yeah, it's a
jump
mix.
around style.
Yeah. Try to put. Actually, we don't have, when we write songs, we don't, just whatever comes to mind. We don't care if it's youth crew or hardcore or metal or whatever comes to mind. And
there must be harmonies in the riffs. This must be good, put together. Good. This is really important. But the rest is our creativity.
Yeah, I know at least some of you are also organizing today's Edge Fest. So would you like to say couple of words about this event and how is it to put it up?
It's funny because Dresden, we have venues, there are like hardcore shows almost every week. Even today, at the same day, there's like a huge hardcore show happening with Madball, Drain and stuff. But it's actually a bit weird that the dates are the same. It wasn't planned. We were first actually. So the Edgefest, what was the idea about? I think we put on shows together before in a small squad where we lived, and now we decided to do like a more of a straight edge thing, because I feel like there's so many straight edge bands coming at the moment from everywhere in Europe, small little straight edge bands, and we thought, let's come together, because most of the hardcore shows are like people just drunk, and this typical Madball agnostic front crowd. It's like just get drunk. They're really like not into politics at all. They don't care about the lyrics and stuff. So we thought, we are political, we are straight edge, let's put something together. I mean, everyone is welcome. We don't care if you're straight edge or not, and we thought, let's do like a little counter culture, a little fest for our subculture. And we decided to, on this venue, because we have different venues we could choose from, and we decided to do it here because it's an independent venue. It's like a youth house where mostly youth will hang out. And we are not like put in any shelf, like this venue is like very political, this is different political, this is like pro-Palestina, pro-Israel and all the shit. We thought, no, we just do our own thing and do a straight edge fest.
Yeah, and it's really important to have a place for the underground people. I mean, especially the people who are not going to the bigger shows, Madball and something like this, because they are, what Matthias said, they are unpolitical and so and drunk often and so. But the underground scene is really strong, and because these people don't go to these places, they come to us, and it's important to celebrate or show what we have as a scene.
It's because Dresden is politically seen very open to right-wing and Nazi politics. And so when you go to these bigger shows, there's a good chance that a lot of fascists will show up, like disguised with a terror shirt or whatever. So we kind of have like this counter culture here where it's like, this is political, you're not welcome. So this is why we do small things.
As mentioned already a couple times, you are a straight edge band. So I wanted to ask, what does straight edge mean to you guys?
For me, I'm straight edge for God, how many years? 22 years now. It was where I'm from. Everyone is drinking, and even when I was young, I always seen like older people. Like it's a big football culture where I'm from, and they're all like these big bellies, and they look so unhealthy. And I always was disgusted by them. It's like I would never look like them with these big bellies and just drinking beer and all this stuff. So for me, it was more like I don't want to fit in. I don't want to be like them, especially from a small place where I'm from. It's like I don't want to be like them. And then I felt people around me were just drinking and like this peer pressure. And it's like, no, I don't want to be like this. It's like, and then I just stopped. When I was 14, I was like, I had my access. I was trying everything, smoking weed, drinking alcohol. But then because I was skateboarding at the time and I felt like I want to be more into sports, live more healthy, I became vegetarian at this time. And so for me, I just quit and I never questioned it again. It's like, and every time people, what, you don't drink? It's like, yeah, just, why don't you drink? I don't even think of drinking. For me, it's just like something completely erased from my mind, this whole culture of drinking. And for me, and over the years, it developed more like I have so many people who died from drugs, people that were so talented in like artists or playing music instruments that are just completely wasted, living still with their parents because they don't go work, they don't do anything. It's because of drugs. And I always felt like straight edge was something, I wouldn't say a lifesaver, but I felt good, and I'm really glad that I discovered the hardcore scene and the music that I discovered, because it helped me through many bad times as well, emotionally. But when I look at these people, I feel like I'm glad that I discovered the scene and straight edge, of course, because who knows how I would have ended up. But yeah, it's a good thing.
It's always the lyrics who help you in all life situations when you need some help for some things. Then always the lyrics who help you to go through the bad things and so. And that's the same with straight edge. This is also the same thing. It helps you to get better. My history in it is a little bit different than Matthias. Once I was straight edge when I was 18, and then I wouldn't say I'm a rebirth straight edge, but I don't use any things anymore, because I go through everything what drugs bring you to bad things, all the things, and I discovered it for me, and I feel bad in the end with all the things doing it and the continuous things in life when you had some kind of addiction. And it is better to live without anything. And this is what Matthias said. I don't want to look like these guys from the villages and so. And I don't want to have my life something like their lives, to go to the pub every night and drinking to forget and so. It is always better to confront you with your demons in life, and it's always better to work with all the bad things in life, because you can better throughout of these things.
I hope it makes sense.
Yeah, it makes
what we're saying, yeah.
yeah, makes a lot of sense. Is there straight edge scene in, let's say, Dresden or even Germany? Because most people, when I ask about straight edge scenes in Germany, they tell me that there used to be a scene there and there.
There used to be a good scene. It's like where we come from, like Senftenberg was close to us. Sebastian played in a few bands of them, like they were like Built on Trust, Something Inside, many other bands were really.
Senftenberg was in the whole Germany known for his straight edge scene. They have back then in 1995 a lot of hardline and vegan straight edge bands, and they were all in this topic. All these guys was there. That was a big scene. It's 50 people.
At least, like the shows, we had a lot of shows even south of Dresden, and like in Roßwein and Liechtenstein, and they were like mostly just straight edge shows, and it was a great time. It was like early 2000s, of course, but then everything died down. And now when we started, it's like when we put on this Edge Fest, it's like there's not a local straight edge band. Drink Deep from Berlin just started, so we thought, yeah, that's a straight edge band. Then Lifelike, we know each other for years, and then the other closest straight edge band would be probably down in Vienna. I think Nuremberg Fragment is playing, but there's no other straight edge band I can think of in Germany. This is like, it's crazy, and there used to be so many. There's probably more in like a different genre. You look like more into the metal scene or more like in a beatdown thing where we completely have no idea what's going on there. So there might be still some straight edge bands, but otherwise there's no straight edge bands around.
There's not so much outspoken straight edge bands.
Maybe there's straight edge
there's more bands with straight edge people in it.
But like proper, like we are straight edge band. It's like So, but now, as I said, like now at the moment, it's like a new age is kind of coming. When you look at the shows in Paris, they put on these amazing straight edge shows, and it's like full with 200 people, and like I feel like there's a new little straight edge scene coming up. I don't know if it will prevail over the time, but let's say what's happening. So it's getting better.
Yeah.